Good evening. Today is Sunday, September 7th, 2025. I'm Rich Stevens, and this is The Cold Take. We begin tonight with several stories from the White House this week. On Tuesday, President Trump announced the relocation of Space Command, the headquarters of the United States Space Force, to Huntsville, Alabama. Thursday evening, the president hosted a dinner for heads of American tech companies to discuss the administration's support for technical advancements on U.S. soil, primarily AI. Tim Cook, Mark Zuckerberg, and Bill Gates spoke alongside OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. Apple has committed to a $600 billion domestic investment, while Google promised $200 billion over the next 2 years, and Microsoft is considering between $75 and $80 billion in American investments. Additional details and the full meeting video are available on thecoldtake.com. Friday, Trump signed an executive order restoring the secondary title Department of War to the Department of Defense. This marks the 200th executive order signed during his second term as president. Wednesday, Attorney General Jeanine Pirro flew to Houston to speak about the seizure of nearly 700,000 pounds of precursor used in the manufacture of methamphetamine. Headed to the Sinaloa cartel in Mexico, the chemicals had the potential to produce 420,000 pounds of meth. Today's episode of The Cold Take is brought to you by... Hit that like, share, and subscribe button to fill in the blank. Ron Desantis had a busy week. Tuesday, the Florida governor spoke about state efforts to combat fentanyl. In 2023, the State Assistance for Fentanyl Eradication, or SAFE program, was established to fund large-scale interdiction operations across Florida. To date, over 200 investigations have led to 2,100 arrests, the seizure of 485 pounds of fentanyl, and over 63,000 fentanyl pills. His full remarks are on thecoldtake.com. Wednesday, Ron DeSantis announced that Florida will end all vaccine mandates for children. Democratic legislators in the state Senate immediately pushed back, saying that, quote, vaccines are crucial for our children because they protect them from deadly diseases, and, quote, ending vaccine mandates poses a grave public health risk and will likely lead to a resurgence of preventable diseases. The governor's press conference and legislative responses are all available at thecoldtake.com. In Minneapolis on Tuesday, Mayor Jacob Frey spoke alongside other Minnesota mayors and representatives from Moms Demand Action to discuss the Annunciation Roman Catholic Church shooting last week. They expressed thanks to teachers, police officers, and first responders, and demanded a statewide and federal ban on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. You know where the full press conference is. That's right, thecoldtake.com. Our goal at The Cold Take is to be centrist, bipartisan, and unbiased. Tonight, I can deliver a piece of news that I think checks those boxes without effort. Wednesday, Republican Congressman Chip Roy and Democratic Congressman Seth Magaziner introduced bipartisan legislation to ban members of Congress and their families from participating in insider trading. Their new bill aims to resolve outstanding issues from previously introduced bills and garnered support from Republicans and Democrats at a joint press conference that you can see at, you guessed it, thecoldtake.com. I'm reticent to wade into any conversation surrounding Jeffrey Epstein, but the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform released 33,000 pages of records Tuesday, and I have that link for you at thecoldtake.com. The fashion world is mourning the passing of Giorgio Armani on Thursday. The 91-year-old billionaire fashion mogul was laid to rest yesterday in Milan at a private ceremony. In finance, U.S. markets opened sharply down Monday from last Friday's close, but clawed back into the black by this week's close. The Dow ultimately continued to fall, losing 144 points this week to close at 45,400. NASDAQ gained 245 points, the largest one-week gain in a month, while the S&P 500 gained 21 points. Gold continued to climb, landing at $3,587 per ounce, a gain of $144 this week. Friday's market drops came following the release of the August jobs report, which showed that the economy added only 22,000 jobs in August. The full report is posted on thecoldtake.com. And moving to sports, Oscar Piastri won the Dutch Grand Prix Sunday for McLaren. Max Verstappen finished second following the retirement of Lando Norris, who suffered engine failure. Racing Bulls driver Isaac Hadjar earned his first podium, finishing third. Piastri now leads the championship by 34 points over his teammate. This weekend's Grand Prix is at Monza, Italy, where the home team of Ferrari will start 10th and 4th behind the McLaren pair. Four-time world champion defender Max Verstappen starts on pole. Giants pitcher Justin Verlander threw 121 pitches Sunday to earn his 265th career win. He struck out 10, walked 4, and gave up 3 hits over 5 scoreless innings. On the other coast, Aaron Judge returned to right field for the Yankees Friday night in a 7-1 loss to the Blue Jays. The Yankees won a rain-delayed Game 2 Saturday afternoon to pull within 3 games of the AL lead against Toronto. Also in New York, the U.S. Open tennis tournament wrapped up the women's contest Saturday. Aryna Sabalenka beat American Amanda Anisimova in straight sets to take the trophy. Jannik Sinner will square up against Carlos Alcaraz in Sunday's men's final. In college football, University of Florida coach Billy Napier embarrassed himself and his program by failing to manage the clock in the waning 2 minutes of last night's home loss to USF. Fans left the stadium chanting "Fire Billy," and online criticism was instant.
Fire Billy! Fire Billy!
Oklahoma defeated Michigan 24-13 in the only top 25 matchup yesterday. And like it or not, that's what happened. I'm Rich Stevens, and this has been The Cold Take.